Hello, Belleville East Lancers. This is our 5-question Friday. And this week we have a very special guest with us. And remember, we do this each week to remind you that at some point, someday, you too, Lancers, are going to be an adult. And as an adult, you're going to make decisions and be leaders and be successful, just like the people we bring you every week. So this week's special guest is Nicki Sanlin. And Nicki is the head men's volleyball coach and the head women's volleyball coach at McKendree University. And Nicki Sanlin graduated from Belleville East in 2001.
Close. You're getting there.
I'm close. So, Nicki, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do now? So what do you do? What's your official job title? What do you do?
I am head men's and women's volleyball coach here at McKendree University. And I get to sit in a gym all day, ultimately. And besides that, obviously there's administrative duties, but mainly recruiting, coaching, molding the minds of young men and women to enter the world to be good humans. That's really my job.
Nice. And that's an important job.
Yes, very, very important.
So when you were at Belleville East, right, class of 2001, I should have known that, by the way.
It's fine.
When you were here as a student, did you ever dream that you'd be coaching college volleyball?
No, I was a firm believer of ball is life. So Lancers out there, do as I say, not as I do. And make sure you're taking everything very important because scholarship opportunities nowadays, I think probably still back then, I was fortunate enough to get a Division I volleyball scholarship and have my school paid for. That is not the case for everyone. And here in the land of Division II, academics are extremely important. So if I would have went the Division II route, that probably would have not received quite a bit of academic money. So never thought I would be here. But in hindsight, I worked a lot of camps in college for easy money, coach club. Obviously, it's my passion. The real world jobs, just no.
So when you came into Belleville East, like, was your focus like basketball or volleyball, or did it switch? Or
it was basketball, and then it switched. I really don't know why. I think I hated the running more, to be honest. But I played it a lot longer. If you would ask my family today, Nicolette was way better at basketball than she was at volleyball, and she took the easy way out. But it switched, and I feel like I made the right decision because now I'm coaching in the profession that I played in college. So,
yeah. So, and I can attest with your family that you were one heck of a basketball player.
Thank you.
Yes. Very, very good. Very good. So, okay, after high school, after Belleville East in 2001, what's next? What does Nicki do after that?
I went to Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. They were in Conference USA. Played Division I volleyball there for 5 years. I tore my ACL year one, and that was probably the best thing for me. It kind of got my head on straight. You know, of course, every young athlete thinks they're a star, and you have a lot to learn, especially when you're in the injury role and you can't do what you want. And I think that was probably the best bet of getting to watch from outside in. Unfortunately, my coach that recruited me got let go, but that was also a blessing in disguise because the coach who came in kicked me into shape and made me kind of what I am today. It was a big part of my life.
So sometimes the plans that you make don't work out the way you think they're going to work out, right?
No,
Tear your
not at
ACL,
all.
get a new coach. Yeah, there's bumps in the road. You got to overcome that stuff.
I thought I had it all written out. I also lost 40 pounds in college as well. You learn how to eat right, exercise. If you want to be an elite level athlete, there's things that you're going to have to, what are you willing to sacrifice to be good? And the team I was fortunate to be on was pretty good. And everybody had the same kind of common goal as far as what are you willing to give up to be great for, 4 years of your life.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I remember that you had that success at Marshall. I knew we always followed you. So it was kind of fun to see you go through those ranks and do what you were doing. That was incredible. So, okay, let's get to the 5 questions.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First question. Favorite memory as a Belleville East Lancer?
I will go the not stereotypical route. There's a lot of, besides beating Chatham Glenwood, to go, besides beating Chatham Glenwood, which was a great memory, I will never forget. This is kind of an unorthodox memory. I was prom queen 2001, and my mother was in the front row saying, "You're not gonna win. It's okay. They don't necessarily pick athletes." And then I was the only, besides myself and Emmanuel Bishop, we were the only two black athletes on home, or prom court or whatever you would call it now. And she's like, "You guys aren't gonna win. Like, oh, come on." And of course, I was getting nervous. They weren't calling my name yet, and then they called my name for prom queen, and I go, "Yes, let's go." And that's not what you expect from your prom queen, supposed to be waving hands. So besides Chatham Glenwood, that would probably be my next best memory.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I remember that. That was a cool moment. The Chatham Glenwood moment that Nicki's referring to is an amazing basketball game here at Belleville East where her teammate, Ebony Halliburton, made one of the most incredible spin shots that I've ever seen. And
Yes.
and I've seen some crazy moments in our gymnasium, and our gymnasium lost its collective mind when that
Yes.
went in, and that was all started by Adrian May's defense, but it was an incredible shot that Ebony made. It was amazing. That was a fun night. And I think
Yes,
I reacted when she made that shot like you did when you got to be prom queen. I was pretty excited. Okay, so next question. Question number 2. What do you think has been the one factor, the main component in your overall success?
Failure. That's not probably the stereotypical answer either. Failure. Being a female head coach, and I am one. Right now, there's 2 of us, but for the longest, I was the only female head coach in Division I men's volleyball. Starting the program here, there was a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, a lot of losses. Like as an athlete, we didn't lose a lot, and that's a big change as a coach because you don't you can't physically do it. So failure is a big motivator of success. And I tell the athletes all the time that you can't learn, you can't grow unless you fail at something. And that's going to shape who you are as an individual. So I tore my ACL. I could have either said, "Woe is me, I've gained a lot of weight. I'm not playing how I used to," and give up, or it's time to get it together, push yourself, move on, move forward. Same thing in coaching. The men lost a ton the first couple years, and now we're trending upward and we're beating ranked opponents. Same thing with the women. They lost early, and you have a little chip on your shoulders. So to get where you are, you're going to have to kind of go through the mud and the dirt and grit and climb. So that's a big part of that.
Sometimes things aren't easy.
No, never.
Yes.
Not at all.
Okay, next question. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, or Facebook?
Instagram. I do not have a TikTok. I refuse. And Snap, Facebook, I have both, but I'll stick with Instagram.
Hey, you're the first person to not say Facebook, so that's good.
I check it mostly for news and updates. I think that's about it right now.
Nice. Okay. All right. So next question. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, celebrity crush. Man. For the longest time, I would have said Michael Fassbender. He is the lead character in Assassin's Creed.
Nice.
There you go.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, that's good. It's probably good that you don't know the answer to that right away, right?
Like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Or I could have said Charlie Hunnam, who was in King Arthur and all this other stuff, but that's good. I had to think about it. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
When I was in high school, it was Brad Pitt.
Ah, there you go. University of Missouri, Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, see, yeah.
Okay, last question. Outside of your family, who has been the most influential person that's helped you with your success?
Outside of my family, wow. I would say Mitch Jacobs, my collegiate head coach. We had a very strong love-hate relationship. Shocking me, I had an attitude a lot, and in practice. But if he said run through this brick wall, I would have ran through the wall. I spent a lot of summers in West Virginia. I didn't come home very much. And I spent a lot of summers with him, and there was a very good dynamic there. And I hated him on the court, but I knew what he knew. I knew that he knew what he was talking about, and we were winning. And I firmly believe that if I wasn't pushed, at that time, like that impressionable, obviously high school is very impressionable. That's the start. Then you transition to college, and that could make or break you. You have to get a job. You have to become an adult. If he wasn't there to kind of kick me in line, and he put up with my attitude, he did. He, he definitely did. And I think he knew that. I don't say think. I know he knew that if he said jump, I would say how high. And to this day, I he's my number one fan, biggest supporter. If I need something, if I have a question, he's definitely somebody I can call.
All right. So, Nick, you talk about your attitude. Well, I know what you're talking about, but so Nikki's attitude was she was super tough, right, and determined. And sometimes she thought things should be done one way, and the coach might have thought it should be done another way.
Yeah,
Right. That's what she means by attitude.
exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly it.
Yes. But when the chips were down, Nikki was always there. And that's probably
Yes.
why your coach loved you, even though he hated you, right? Sometimes.
Yes, there was a mutual. I specifically remember, and as a coach now, I hate this. So that I'm getting my own taste of my own medicine. I remember I had my hand on my hip and my hip cocked, and he was talking about something. I was trying to graduate in 4 so I could go get my master's my 5th year, and he was trying to say like, "Oh, maybe you should take more classes." And then I was like, "I know," and he's like, "Let's not say that again." I'm like, so now I tell the athletes, don't I know me? Because in retrospect, I didn't know anything. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
So they know, I know the word I know, it boils in the belly. So I'm getting a taste of my own medicine right now. But they should, I think they're figuring out, the young ones, it takes a little time for them to not say I know. Because immediately, do you know? Tell me the answer then. So
Yeah.
that's where we are.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's great to see that come back around. Okay, if you can give one piece of advice to current Belleville East Lancers, anybody, whether they're athletes, non-athletes, whatever, what do you say to high school kids so they can be successful like you in the future?
Be appreciative of the things that are happening in your life right now. There are a lot of people that go out of their way to make things possible for, young athletes, or not even young athletes, young people in general. To who's taking you to school, who's making you breakfast. If someone's not making you breakfast, the lady in the lunch line is handing you food. Are you saying thank you? Are you not taking that person for granted as well? Because you never know when you're going to need someone else, or that kindness is the only kindness that person has seen that day. And that can go a long way. And I always say I catch more flies with honey than I do vinegar. So kill them with kindness, even though you don't want to. Sometimes it pays to be better to be the bigger person.
That's fantastic. So, why don't you tell us when are we going to play volleyball again at McKendree? When can we come see the volleyball team?
February. Knock on wood. February is the start date. Hopefully we can keep it going and get coronavirus in line, and we can start competing in February.
That'll be fantastic. That'll be great. So we finish every one of these with a saying that I've done every Friday for like my entire career. So I'll say, stand up for what you believe in, and then you finish with, even if you're standing alone. And that's how we'll end our 5-question Friday.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So Nicki Sanlin, head coach of men's and women's volleyball at McKendree University, Belleville East graduate, class of 2001. Stand up for what you believe in.
Even if you're standing alone.
Thank you, Nicki.
All right.